continue this conversation. But FanDuel is back as the official sportsbook partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And Super Bowl 59 is right around the corner. One game, two teams, endless possibilities. And there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with the FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether you're predicting the first touchdown, who will take home the MVP trophy, or the coin toss, FanDuel makes it easy to place your bets and feel the thrill of every moment. With live betting all game line, you can jump into the action, adjust your bets, and ride the wave of excitement from kickoff to the final whistle. Plus, to make the Super Bowl even sweeter, new customers can score $200 when you make your first bet. Just place a $5 bet, and if you win, you get $200 in bonus bets. Download the app or head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and bet with FanDuel, an official partner of Super Bowl 59. Guys, on the Myles Garrett thing, I want to mention something that we kind of touched on, but I want to bring it back up. Steve, take tag board full. In his exact statement, Myles Garrett said, quote, "The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton." You mentioned earlier, but that was the exact wording Andrew Berry used at his end-of-season press conference when asked about Myles Garrett. Is it any kind of extra meaning, you guys think, or anything deeper than surface level to use those exact same words?
I think
he's talking directly to AB.
I agree.
Yeah,
he used the exact phrase.
Yeah, there's intent behind that. And I mean, listen, I don't think AB saying that is why he requested the trade. It's much deeper than that. But to use that exact verbiage, to use that exact language and throw it right back at him, yes, that there is intent behind that.
Man, I've been telling people, it's hard when you say this to some people ain't trying to win. And you'd be like, what do you mean they're not trying to win? No, there's like maybe 5 teams every year that are going for it, like really going for it. Not trying to talk about the dome, not trying to sell tickets or make the playoffs. There's 5 teams that are really, really, really trying to go for it. And the sentiment when he's talking about is it ain't about to go from Cleveland to going from Cleveland to Canton. That's skipping your whole career, man. You don't play these types of games and put your body on the line. And I think that was one of the major components that he started to look at. When you are a freak athlete and a freak of nature like Myles Garrett, you've seen your body never betrays you. But year after year, he had the car accident. He had the situation with his foot. We thought he may shut it down at some point during the season because of his foot or ankle, whatever the case may be. And so when you start to see your mortality as an athlete and you start to see those years pass and you people say, man, I remember when you came into the league. And you're like, wow, that was a long time ago. And you look around and you're pushing 30. You start to look around and he looking at Nick Chubb like, wow, that ain't the Nick Chubb I knew. And you start to think to yourself, I got to be about something. I want to win. This ain't about next year or the year after that. This is about winning at the highest level. Do you see how they clown Charles Barkley? Do you see how we treat people? This is the first thing we do to disqualify athletes. He was a great guy, put up stats, Hall of Famer. He was never a winner at the highest level. We hold that against people. So I can't get mad at the brother because he's just telling us what we always tell them. We treat people who are winners and win the championships up here. It's the reason why, even though Peyton Manning and Drew Brees are very good quarterbacks and won Super Bowls, the first thing they get disqualified is because, hey, you were great, but you only won one. Can you imagine what you say to a guy that didn't win any?
Well, you're Joe Thomas.
Yeah, you're Joe Thomas. And you ask Joe Thomas, what do you want, the jacket or the wins? And Joe Thomas says, man, look, I love the gold jacket. But that ring is all about team sports. It's what we play from the beginning of time. That's what we do it for, is that. And that's what he's looking for.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I mean, we haven't gotten around to this part of it yet, but I don't blame Myles Garrett at all. I'm really surprised, Jay. I'm trying to think of another athlete that has so publicly asked for a trade.
Oh, Kobe.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Kobe went on Stephen A. show and said, I will never play another game in a Lakers uniform.
You're right.
Yeah.
And that turned out okay. So
yeah, it did. Can you remember another guy, though, that has written a letter basically saying, get me the hell out of here?
Carmelo was kind of vocal in Denver. But
Carmelo was vocal. I don't remember to what extent.
And I think at that point, too, Carmelo wasn't
He Myles Garrett.
He wasn't where Carmen. Now Kobe is a great comparison. I'd forgotten all about what Kobe did.
Yeah.
Kobe basically set himself on fire.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was,
and he stayed.
And he stayed. They worked it out.
T.O. when he played for the Ravens for one day.
Yeah, but that was so. I mean, he wasn't T.O.
Wait, where was T.O. doing push-ups in his driveway?
That was Philly.
Dallas.
That was Philly.
No, that was Philly.
Yeah, that was Philly.
Yeah,
Oh, Philly.
Was that
that's
a
my
trade?
quarterback. That was Dallas.
Was that a trade? I don't remember. I just remember him shirtless doing push-ups. Or
I think it was a holdout.
I think they sent him home.
I think it was a holdout.
All right.
But this is big. Okay, not unprecedented, but rare.
Yeah, rare.
And
That's fair.
I think I was texting with Bernie just to get his thoughts. And the first word that he said was "wow." I think initially this is one of those things, and this happens very rarely, where when you first hear it, it takes you aback and you need a standing 8 count. And then once you get your wits, you're like, well, of course he asked for a trade.
That's why. So if you notice 2 years ago, right, and you knowing this, and you come on it, that's why it was so devastating for me to see them losing these games. Like when you say, like you're just hoping, like you don't want to be 3. When the Deshaun Watson stuff happened, I'm like, okay, listen, he may not be good. We need to at least give me 7 wins. You can stomach a 7 because you can sell. Hey, we ain't that far away. We get a quarterback. But when you bottom out at 13, you just knew. Like people think that we're Duke of D-jerks, right? And this is our court of gestures, and we just say stuff. Remember, we were sitting here talking about tearing it down to the studs, and we was like, oh no, this ain't no regular. Let's just add 2 or 3 pieces in there. You got some pieces that you're gonna have to actually get to, like, put in place because you're gonna lose some guys. And now the trickle down theory is here. This is the Reaganomics of football. Now, what does Joe Bitonio say?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
What is
Any of the veterans that are
and
perennial Pro Bowlers?
And at that point, what are you doing over his corner then? Why is Denzel Ward over there? Like if Myles Garrett is gone, what are we doing with all these high-priced veterans? Because we pay the most in money, Jason.
Well, I would not move Denzel. I keep Denzel right where he is. He's still
Denzel
young.
may not want to leave. Denzel is home.
Yeah, I would not entertain that at all. The Myles thing you have to look at. You have to. I wrote about it weeks ago. I thought that they should look at trading him, exploring trading him, because you have got to fix quarterback. Period. Full stop. Whatever it takes.
Yes.
You haven't won anything with Myles, as great as he is. You haven't won shit with him. You finished ahead of third once. You finished above third place in your division one time.
You've won one playoff game.
Yeah. So as great as he is, I'm sorry he's not a quarterback. You have got to fix that at any cost, whatever it takes. Joel may retire. Joel may say, "Screw this, man. I'm done. That's enough." He may have done that anyway. Even before this Myles thing, he may have had enough.
Mike, you just got in my ear and said you have some cap implications. What will this do to the cap?
So Jason from Over the Cap, not our Jason Lloyd, but Jason from Over the
Really
Cap.
good,
who,
really good.
Really good, really smart. Just tweeted this out so you can take it full here. And Jason said, quote, "The Garrett trade would not be very easy for the Browns to work with on their salary cap. He has been restructured every year, which means over $36 million in cap charges if traded. He has a bonus due in March as well." So we're going to end up doing the rock bottom conversation at some point, but this certainly does not help the Browns' chances in any of those. $36 million in cap charges if he's traded, and he would not be on the roster.
Good God. I mean, that does go back to the Deshaun thing.
Yeah.
That goes back to the Deshaun thing. And that's why I can't.
I think all of it does, though.
But I can't entertain a conversation that says the Deshaun contract is no big deal against the cap. I know you guys had on that guy.
Yeah, no, that's garbage.
But
it's nonsense. I'm sorry.
But it's then just give everybody $300 million contracts because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Like, of course it matters. Of course there's collateral damage to it at some point.
Well,
and
one of the things we had talked about was the gymnastics that you can do to get out of it was to kick Rhodes
kicking
down.
the can down the road.
Okay, so now you're in a situation where your best player wants a trade, and because of the money pushed down the road, make that trade. It is going to hit you in the heart.
Well, I get the concept of the cap keeps going up and the dollar value is going to keep going down, so you get better value. Makes perfect sense.
Sure.
Eventually, you have to bend over and pick up the can. Yeah. And that's what I think all of this is coming to a head. And again, maybe they talk him out of it. Maybe they just give him another enormous contract, make him the highest paid defensive player in the history of the game, give him a quarterback-like contract, and they prolong this and they get him back into the boat. I mean, David Njoku asked for a trade, and Kevin Stefanski talked him back into the vote. But to go this public about it and to be this intent on it, given what I know where he was 2 years ago, given what he said toward the end of the season, I think they're going to have a hard time getting him back in the boat. But you don't have to trade him. We had that conversation about the Cavs over the summer. You don't necessarily have to trade these guys.
It's tough because.
Hey, G, hold on. Sorry, real quick. More breaking news or update on this. But Albert Breer just tweeted, Myles Garrett made his trade request public today, but the Browns' position on Garrett has not changed. Per sources, the team has no plans to deal him.
Well,
I was just going to say they did the same thing with Baker. Because when Deshaun told them no and Baker came out and said he wanted traded, the team stance was, well, sorry, you're under contract. We're not trading you.
Right.
And maybe I don't know. Let's wait and see where this
They
goes.
ended up having to trade him.
Drive that price up. Drive it up. Listen, because now that's a signal of, oh, no, you're going to have to come higher. Don't come at all.
There are probably 25 to 30 front offices right now that are having this conversation.
Yeah.
Do we want in on this?
Yeah, like right now.
Do we want in on the Myles Garrett sweepsake?
It's like the stock market is crashing and you're in the financial institutions. They waking you up at 3 a.m. Yeah, get John over here. It's 3 a.m. I say get John over here.
Yeah, this DEFCON 10.
Put the bat signal out. I just see this is the fascinating part about it is when you watch and you're gonna watch around the league, you're gonna get a lot of people that inquire about it. And you're going to figure out, okay, well, this guy wants to trade, this guy wants to trade, and they can do process of elimination based on who gives them the best offer. The interesting part to me is, do you still draft a quarterback? Because I'm just looking at it from this perspective. If you don't sell, how can you sell your fan base that you just lost your like generational player, and then you have no quarterback and you don't draft one?
Yeah.
I mean, what are people gonna watch? So we come into the games to watch Jerry Jeudy and Kirk Cousins?
Especially when you're trying to build a brand new $2 billion stadium.
You gotta have
and jack
something.
up prices to the point where people will have sticker
Arch
shock.
Manning. Jason said it a million times. It's the Arch Manning plan.
I mean, there's no guarantee he comes out in 26, especially with NIL money. But it was just an example of if he does come out, I think Jimmy Haslam would be slobbering at the mouth to get a hold of.
Did you see the video of Peyton's son throwing balls to
I did.
NFL?
Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And let's be clear.
Unfortunately, the stadium won't be built in 2040 when he's eligible to be drafted.
Here's the big elephant in the room, though. You act like the Mannings don't move people from bad organizations.
Oh, listen.
What are you talking about?
If it came down to the Browns had the number one pick,
they're not letting him go.
And Arch was coming out in the draft.
Come on, stop. You talking about Shador?
I was going to say,
you talking about Shador?
It's the Deion situation.
And by the way, Peyton and Jimmy Haslam are buddies.
Nah, that's not going down.
But I'll guarantee you, they're not going to let Arch come to this.
No, it's not. Oh, and by the way, even if you had 4 first-round picks, if Arch Manning is the second coming of Peyton Manning, whoever has the number 1 draft pick is not trading it. You could have 10 first-round picks. Yeah. So we can ante up all the picks you want. Sorry, Cleveland. We're going to take the generational guy that everybody would.
Watch the race of teams that tank this year thinking that he will come out.
And he may not.
He might not. He might stay.
But my larger point
Peyton
is...
stayed.
Again, all of this is risk. Freely admit, it's all risk. It's calculated risk. But the quarterback class of next year looks significantly better at this point than the quarterback class this year. So even if it's not Arch, even if it's not the number 1 guy, there still should be a class next year of multiple options.
More options, yeah.
Of more options and more bites at the apple than what you've got now.
And to Jay's point on NIL, according to all reports, Arch Manning just signed a $6 million NIL deal with Red Bull. So money is not an issue.
There is
Arch
no
Manning.
And will never be an issue for
It never
Arch
was.
Manning.
It never was.
I'm just saying, even in his own right,
it wasn't for Eli when they masterminded the
Chargers,
San Diego. Don't take us.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing for him.
Hey man, Arch Manning ain't signing up for Pell Grant, man.
No.
And by the way, that's already frozen, so don't worry about that.
Let me get another read in, and we will.